Hey, what's up? Alex here. This is the third and final episode of my 2023 Smart Home Guide where I'm covering the Samsung SmartThings platform today. I think many of you follow my channel because I'm running my smart home on SmartThings, and I also did a video of how to use the Groovy IDE to add devices that are not natively integrated. In case you're not aware, that is now obsolete. So myself, having used the SmartThings platform for about 2 years already, having over 70 devices on the platform, what will be my recommended setup? What are the products that I'm comfortable recommending to everyone? I'm not sponsored by any of the brands that I'm going to mention in this video because I have a brilliant sponsor. This video is sponsored by Brilliant. Brilliant.org is the best way to learn math and computer science interactively. It is an online learning platform that has thousands of lessons from foundational and advanced math to AI, data science, neural networks and more, with new lessons added monthly. There are courses suitable for age 10 to 110, so be it whether you are a parent and want your kid to have more exposure to these subjects or even knowledge for yourself, especially if your work has some relation to these topics. With the recent hype about ChatGPT, I'll be interested to learn more about neural networks. Or when I talk about executing more advanced smart home automations in this channel, the Python programming courses will help you to better understand the tech behind. The way Brilliant helps you to learn is using a lot of critical thinking and problem-solving skills, which I think is a very effective way of learning. To try everything Brilliant has to offer free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/alexteo or click on the link in the description. The first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Samsung SmartThings is a hub-based smart home platform. So to get started with the platform, you need to purchase their hub. This costs about 200 SGD, and you will realize there are Aeotec and SmartThings branded hubs. Basically, they are the same thing, just from different manufacturers. It seems like in US it's all from Aeotec in these blue boxes. But over here in Singapore, all our distributors are selling the SmartThings branded ones in these purple boxes. Some of the Samsung appliances like their fridge and their smart monitors come with a built-in SmartThings Hub as well, but without Zigbee capability. Their Zigbee dongle is sold separately, which is a bummer. With Zigbee capability, you are then able to add Zigbee devices directly to the SmartThings Hub, some exceptions like your Philips Hue where you have to link to their bridge. For example, I want to use Aqara Zigbee devices. I can add them straight away. I don't need to buy the Aqara Hub, unlike for Apple HomeKit, which you need to. For SmartThings, you will set and manage all your automation rules and scenes on the SmartThings app. Then you have the flexibility to go with different voice assistants. This means that you can have both the Google Nest Mini Smart Speaker that runs Google Assistant and also have the Amazon Echo Show Smart Display that runs Alexa. Over at the Google Home and Amazon Alexa app, it's just to create your voice-triggered routines. In the beginning of the video, I mentioned that the Groovy IDE is now obsolete. That is basically for advanced users to add devices that are not found on the list of brands that are natively integrated. SmartThings then introduced edge drivers, which are actually much more user-friendly for the average consumer. So more or less, the products I recommend will follow this simple principle. Zigbee devices that can be added directly to the hub based on what is available and supported right out of the box. Just before I get into each of the device types, here's the full list of all of them I'll be covering. Core devices are what I consider to be the basic foundation of all smart homes. That includes smart switches, lighting, sensors, buttons, sockets, IR or RF devices, and window treatment. Then if you want a fully functional smart home, will include home entertainment, security, and your home network. For smart switches, this is going to be tricky. Unfortunately, there isn't anything that I'm comfortable recommending if we were to follow the principle of only picking what is natively integrated. So if we were to look at edge drivers developed by the community, then my recommendation is the Aqara and Tuya switches like MOS. Go for the Zigbee ones, no issue with the drivers. Most importantly is they are very affordable. Okay, rest of the devices will be much more straightforward. For smart lighting, go with my big four minus Groovy. So they are Philips Hue, Nanoleaf, and Yeelight. You won't go wrong with their products. Each of them have some of their unique product line, like Philips Hue Sync Box, their dimmer switch, Nanoleaf panels, Yeelight Cube that was just released since announced at CES a couple of months ago. Groovy doesn't have any integration with SmartThings. However, my Groovy devices are still working fine for me, and that's because I have them set up during the Groovy IDE days. Next, for sensors and buttons, SmartThings have their own motion sensor, contact sensor, and buttons. Not a lot of options, but you can easily add them if you want something simple. If you don't mind to use community developed drivers, then there are Aqara sensors like the P1 motion sensor, the FP1 presence sensor, those 4-button scene switches from MOS. There are edge drivers for all of these if you don't mind installing them from the community. For Smart Socket, I recommend getting the ones from IKEA. They cost only 16 SGD running on Zigbee, which means it can also help to extend your Zigbee network. I've been using them for years, no issues. The downside is no energy monitoring and the aesthetics are not the best looking. For IR or RF receivers to control your remote controlled devices, for IR I will go with the Switchbot Hub Mini, comes with either white or black color. They recently released the version 2 which has a built-in temperature and humidity sensor. For RF, I would recommend the Bond Bridge, especially if you have Somfy RTS products. Although it's quite pricey, but you get a good amount of range, work extremely well with fans and shades. And they also have a very good customer support team if you have any issues. For window treatment, you have curtains or shades, motorized or retrofit, so a total of 4 subcategories. If you want U-rail types of curtain tracks, go with Aqara for their motorized curtain track. And if you have rod type of curtains like from IKEA, you need retrofit, then go with Switchbot curtain boards. It makes sense to go with Switchbot since you already have their Switchbot Hub Mini to do IR. They are also probably the OG when it comes to curtain boards. If your house is going with blinds or shades, for motorized, I recommend the same as what I recommended for Apple HomeKit products from SmartWings. They are Zigbee based, connects directly via the SmartThings Hub, that's what we will always want. As for retrofit, go with the products from Soma. They also have the Soma tilt if you have Venetian blinds, which is super popular here in Singapore. You will also need to get a Soma Connect Hub. Pricing wise, it don't make sense if you only have just one Venetian blind. In that case, you can check out the Switchbot tilt. I didn't try that out before, but should be alright based on the reviews I saw. Alright, so this is my recommendation for all the core devices. Now moving on to what I classify as optional. Smart speaker in SmartThings means that you can set it to start or stop playing music based on any of the available trigger conditions. For example, at a certain time of the day or motion detected on your sensor. It can also be used to play audio notification messages on these speakers within your automations.
Subscribe to the channel.
If you want to use voice commands, you can link it to Google Assistant or Alexa. So my recommendation is Sonos speakers, basically any of their products. The Sonos Arc and Sonos Beam are very popular soundbar choices. Recently, they have released the Sonos Era 100. I think that will be a good choice for your standalone speaker. For TV, of course, that will be the Samsung branded TV that is running their Tizen OS. As a TV, they are one of my top 3 together with LG and Sony. There are shortcuts where you can run your scenes or you can just run the SmartThings app to access all your devices. But that will disrupt what you are watching and the app is quite laggy in my experience. You will be able to receive your smart doorbell or camera notifications. It will be a small pop-up at the top right corner of the screen, similar to Apple TV. In order to achieve that, you need a compatible doorbell, so I'll recommend the doorbells from Ring. They have wired or battery doorbells and also a peephole doorbell if you prefer that. They also sell their chimes. I recommend getting that for a faster response time, although you can of course set automations whenever the doorbell is being pressed. The downside is most of their good features are locked behind a monthly subscription fee, though the basic one is just $4 per month. Next, for smart door locks, you can go with Solidity or Ale. Solidity is a Korean brand. Depending on where you are based, it might not be available in your country. Ale is a more global brand with more presence around the world. I have tested both of their locks in my recent smart door lock video. Both have good quality products and the integration with SmartThings are working very well. Next, for security cameras, mainly indoor cams, I would say go with the 360 cam from Aeotec that works with SmartThings. Besides being able to control the camera within your automations, there are a couple of very nice video camera features within the SmartThings platform that we want to make use of. First is SmartThings Video, where it consolidates and stores all the recorded clips here. You can straight away watch the live camera feed here instead of going to each individual device. Second is pairing with Samsung TV to access a camera dashboard. There is a camera list to easily scroll and select the camera you want to see a big live view. Notification settings that you can set based on sound or motion, very useful in monitoring baby or pets. Then you will get the same pop-up like the video doorbell. Alright, lastly, home Wi-Fi mesh system. Samsung actually has a mesh Wi-Fi product called the Connect Home. Nope, I'm not recommending it because I don't think Samsung is updating the product at all. In this case, since there is no integration back to SmartThings, you can pretty much go with any Wi-Fi mesh systems. Generally, my safe recommendation is TP-Link for entry to mid-range models, then ASUS for mid to high-end. You can check out my video here comparing all the different Wi-Fi 6 mesh systems. Now, here is the summarized list of my recommendations for all the device types. The general rule of thumb is to look for Zigbee products that have native integration with SmartThings to achieve best performance and at the same time not introducing unnecessary additional hubs into the setup. But for some of them, that's really tough, so I also gave my recommendations for community drivers as well, if you don't mind spending some time to sideload that into your SmartThings Hub. Okay, some of my closing thoughts about SmartThings is, I think the ability to consolidate many smart home device manufacturers into a single platform, that value will slowly be gone. With Matter slowly rolling out this year, all Matter-enabled devices can be added to any platform. What is going to stand out and differentiate between each of these platforms will be how you are able to configure your automation rules and scenes. You still need to link to a voice assistant. Nobody is using Bixby for smart home commands. Their selling point is their integration with Samsung appliances, which I would say is super optional. So SmartThings to me has a lot of things to do in order to stay relevant. Alright, there you have it, my early 2023 smart home guide for Samsung SmartThings, Google Home and Apple HomeKit all done. I'm going to share a spreadsheet of the summarized list in the video description for your quick reference. Here are the links to those videos if you have not watched them. Share with your friends and families if they are looking to set up or expand their smart home this year. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.